join us live later tonight as we do a watch party for the Dallas Mavericks and Los Angeles Lakers 2025 NBA Summer League debut for Cooper Flagg. Going to be playing against Bronny James. We'll be live about 10 minutes before 7, so 6:50 p.m. Central Time. Come and join us right here on the channel, and we'll have a great time. Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. Jeffrey Cooperstein here with you guys, and we have to break down the latest Mavericks news surrounding both PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. We'll start with Washington here, and an extension could be coming for PJ, according to Tim McMahon of ESPN, a very plugged-in Mavericks insider. He says he expects PJ Washington to sign an extension next month with the Mavericks. Now, it'll be at the end of next month if PJ does sign that deal because he is extension eligible on August 29th. The way the rules work is you are eligible 2 years after you sign a multi-year extension. He signed that extension with the Charlotte Hornets on August 29th of 23. Therefore, he's eligible on the 29th of this year. And it sounds like the Mavericks are going to get a deal done with PJ. Last season, PJ was excellent for this Dallas Mavericks team. He was one of the guys who kept this locker room together. He was a leader on and off the court for the squad. And he put up some pretty big games for the Dallas Mavericks, most notably against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And he's just been a really good staple for this team since he joined from the Charlotte Hornets. Washington last year averaged almost 15 points, 8 rebounds, shot very well from three-point land. And I think this will be a good deal for the Mavericks if they end up getting this deal done here in the last days of August into September, right before the season begins. The deal would be right around 4 years and $90 million. That would be the max he could sign, and that would be the deal I think the Mavericks would give him. And I know you're thinking that's a little bit expensive, and maybe it is, but I think for Washington, he's more than worth it. That you would be paying him starter money, which means he would be starting alongside Cooper Flagg if you were to give him this money. And I do think it would be a good deal. And Tim McMahon had this to add here on the potential Washington extension. He says, I think it's probably going to be at a number that he will be very tradable on. So that 4 years, $90 million contract would be a tradable deal if you're looking at right around 22-ish million per season. I think my math is right on that. But I think that would be a good number for PJ. And like the Daniel Gafford deal, this deal would be done with tradability in mind. I think the Gafford extension at 3 years, $54 million, no trade restriction, was done with potential future deals in mind. This PJ Washington deal will sort of be the same thing. So I think the Mavericks are going to sign this extension with PJ to keep their options open as far as his future with the Mavs goes, and as a potential trade asset to protect his value, because he is going into the last year of his contract. So the Mavs would like to get a deal done here. And after a summer where it seemed like one of PJ or Gafford were almost guaranteed to be gone, it looks like they're going to get both back on pretty friendly deals, but both deals also give those guys some good money and long-term security with the Mavs as well. Let me know down in the comment section. First question I'm going to ask you here on today's show. Do you want PJ Washington to sign an extension? If you do, type E for extend. If you don't, type N for no. And if you don't also, let me know why down in the comment section you wouldn't want to extend him. Like I said, I think it would be a great deal. Speaking of Daniel Gafford, there's some rumors and some uncertainty going around on Mavs Twitter that he did agree to his 3-year, $54 million extension, but the deal has not been formally announced yet by the Dallas Mavericks. And you might be doing the Windhorse meme now. Why would that be the case? Some are speculating that it's potentially trade-related, and maybe the Mavericks were working on a deal to try to move Gafford along with that extension, because like I said, that extension comes with no trade restriction. So the Mavericks could ink him to that deal and then move him the next day if theoretically they wanted to. I don't think that's the case, and I don't think this is really anything to worry about. I just kind of think they haven't announced it yet because you're in the dead of summer and they just haven't announced it yet. I really don't think there's anything more than that. And they signed Gafford to play for the Mavericks at least this next season. Gafford last season was excellent for this team. 12 points, almost 7 boards, almost 2 blocks a night as well. Was among the NBA leaders in field goal percentage among those who qualified. He did deal with a little bit of injury bug last season was limited to just 21 and a half minutes a night as well. That's where I think he's best at, though, is between 20 and 25 minutes a night. I don't think he should be playing 35 minutes a night, and that's hopefully the health of Derek Lively will help keep Gafford's minutes down as well. You want those guys splitting your center minutes as close to 50-50 as you can. You can fill in the gaps with AD at the 5 if you need to. God forbid Dwight Powell needs to play 5 to 10 minutes, but look, this was Daniel Gafford's reaction when the news broke of his extension. He says, forever grateful for the opportunity given. I'll never take this life for granted. And he seemed very excited about signing this deal with the Mavs. And that just tells me, like I said, that there's nothing really going on between Gafford and the Mavericks. And they just haven't announced the deal simply because they just haven't announced it yet. We'll talk about the latest news and notes here in just a moment. But before we do that, go get your Cooper Flagg jersey right now when you go to chatsports.com/flag. That link will be in the comments and description of today's show. And when you use that link, Fanatics will send us a part of the proceeds as well. So you can get your new Cooper Flagg jersey while helping out the channel. Again, chatsports.com/flag. That link is in the comments and description of today's show. Go order yourself a Cooper Flagg jersey and help us out and come watch us tonight on the watch party. All right, some news and notes here before we get on out of here. The Mavericks NBA Cup group was revealed, and boy, is it a doozy. The Mavericks are in West Group B here in 2025, and here is their group. You have the Mavericks, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Memphis Grizzlies, and the New Orleans Pelicans. And the NBA put out a statement saying this was a random drawing. Oh yeah, I'm sure the Mavericks and Lakers was a random drawing, and they didn't want that to be part of their national TV package and NBA coverage whatsoever, right? Come on. Nothing the NBA does is random, of course, except for the NBA lottery, which was completely random and fair that the Mavericks won with a 1.8% chance. We all know that. Anyways, another news and note that we have here, the Mavericks did hire not one, but two assistant coaches. Phil Handy and Popeye Jones have agreed to join Jason Kidd's coaching staff. Phil Handy, he's a great relationship guy. He's a player development guy. He's known Kyrie Irving since his days in Cleveland. And Phil Handy is one of the most respected assistant coaches in the NBA. So I think this was a big pickup. And Popeye Jones was someone that, frankly, I didn't have on the Mavericks' radar. Longtime NBA assistant coach in Indiana, played with Denver, played with the Mavericks, has a relationship with Nico Harrison as well. His son, obviously, Seth Jones, just won the Stanley Cup with the Florida Panthers. So I think this was a good hire for the Mavericks. He knows a lot about this Mavericks organization and will bring something to the Mavs staff. And it sounds like he's going to be a front of the bench guy as well. So he'll be one of Jason Kidd's three main assistant coaches there. So the Mavs hired not one, but two assistant coaches as they continue the revamp of their coaching staff. And a new strength and conditioning coach has been hired by the Mavericks. Geoff Puls, the former head strength and conditioning coach of the Chicago Bulls, is leaving Chicago to come to the Dallas Mavericks. And we've talked at length about the Mavericks training staff and the mismanagement that's happened there. Obviously, Casey Smith and Jeremy Holsopple and whoever else went with him to the New York Knicks won the Training Staff of the Year award, and the Mavericks have gotten a lot of heat given the way they have handled this training staff, and they revamped it again this offseason. So hopefully Mr. Puls from Chicago can help the Mavericks out and try to reduce some injury, because last year the Mavericks had a lot of injuries, and it did not help this team going forward. So hopefully he's able to rectify some of those things. So there are your news and notes. There's the NBA Cup group got revealed, and let me know what you guys think the best move the Mavs made this offseason. Was it hiring Phil Handy or Popeye Jones? You can say any coach hirings. You can say any signings. You can say whatever you want. What was the best move the Mavs made this offseason? Embrace debate down there in the comment section. You could also say it was Klay Thompson, who was reportedly dating Megan Thee Stallion, but we don't need to talk about that here on the show. We can let Klay have his summer in peace, and hopefully he just comes back with the strap that he did last year, shooting almost 40% from three. That will do it for today's show, guys. Appreciate you for tuning in to Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. We'll be live in just a couple of hours for Cooper Flagg's Summer League debut against the Los Angeles Lakers. So join us, and we'll see you soon.